Hi guys, this is Robert Rivera with Trend Trading Academy. This is a weekly recap. I think this is a weekly recap number 24, 25. I'm not sure. This time of the week where I review the trades of the week and go over also what we could be seeing projected for next week. Let's go right into it. Make this nice and short. Got lots of stuff to do today. So let's go right into it. This is the first trade of the week. We have GBP USD. I later on changed it to GJ because it was very choppy, very inconsistent. But this was the one from Tuesday, I believe. No trades on Monday because of the market. I did set up a GBP AUD that I sent in the community, but and that went well. I'm not going to even count that in the numbers. But let's just deal with this. This is GBP USD on the 6th. We have price trapped. We see the inner trend line, we see the outer trend line. We already know that if it breaks the inner trend line, it wants to go to that trend line. Let's see what we got. This is what we ended up with. Sure enough, it broke the trend line, continued on down, rejected from there, and kept on going. We have 72 pips on this initial first move down here, 72 pips from the trend line break. And then we ended up with 103 pips from the break of the zone retest. Depending on when you entered on the, on the retest here, you have perhaps 13 pip drawdown, 0 to 13 pip drawdown, and 100 pips to the downside. As Jay has mentioned so many times, breaks the inner trend line, go to the outer trend line. That's usually the case. In this case, price came all the way down to the 200 moving average, found support there, I believe it started moving back up. Let's go into our next setup from the next day. This is the 7th. Let's see, this is the trade up from the 7th. And what we have here is, again, it dropped from that day. It started consolidating. We have a little trend line here. I'm not sure if that came into play or not. We're going to find out here in just a moment. Remember, guys, for those of you who are brand new, we set up our trade and we don't try to predict which way it is going to go. We just simply follow what it does. We do notice that I found support on the 200 right here. The 50 is above it. So potential buy to the upside all the way to the 50 moving average, or perhaps a continuation to the downside from this flag pattern breaking down. Okay, this was on the 7th. Okay, let's see what we got. Results. Here we go, guys. Let's see what we got. It broke to the top, creating 38 pips. No retest, right? This was a frustrating week when it comes to the retest. No retest on most of the action. Broke to the top, let's say, then it broke back down, broke below the trend line. I didn't even count the pips from the, well, maybe I did. I'm not quite sure where these 34 pips come from. I don't know if it's from the trend line or from the zone. I think it must have been only the zone because it would have been more from the trend line. But in any event, it broke down below 34 pips and then it went back up, broke up again. This time we have a pivot retest, retested right on this pivot right here, and it went back up 38 pips, break, no retest, another no retest day. Very frustrating. Okay, very frustrating for the retest trader. There's a lot of waiting on the retest trader. So I switched over to GBP JPY for the next trade setup to see if I could find something a little smoother. And this is what we ended up with. We have a game kind of situation, right? Inner trend line, outer trend line. It's already breaking. I wonder if I don't remember. I wonder if it came all the way down. We're going to find out here in just a moment. But again, nice little setup. It looks a little clean. Let's see what we ended up with. But what did we have? Well, sure enough, it broke the trend line, but it did go a little further up. It broke to the top, 31 pips with a retest here, retest right there, all the way up to the top. No, zero drawdown on that one. But then the real move was the break of the trend line all the way down to the next trend line. 59 pip trend line break all the way down. Again, remember, guys, breaks the inner trend line, wants to go to the outer trend line. All right, that was the 8th. The 9th, this is a little controversial. Let's talk about the 9th. These are all the setups I sent last night, this week. Again, it seems pretty clear consolidation, pretty clean consolidation on GBP/JPY. It was a Friday. There was some news coming out. I'm not sure if to send it or not, but it did look real clean. So I thought perhaps we could take advantage of this. And this is what we ended up with. It broke on the 30-minute. On the 1 hour, it never did break out, okay? None of these breakouts happened on the 1 hour. When the market is choppy, that's what I suggest, and we have mentioned it in several different videos. Move to the higher time frames to get a good idea of what's going on. And again, this one's worth talking about for as far as edge, for example. Um, when you're looking for edge in the market, you're looking for something that speaks to you, that you have back tested, that you have tried, that you have confidence in. Um, and one of the edges that you have, if you have studied it and take time studying it, is candlestick patterns. Um, if you actually looked at the candlestick pattern here, this candlestick pattern as it compares to this one and the ones from before it, tell you that it is reversing, it is rejecting from here. It doesn't, it doesn't, is not giving you, and it's not likely to give you a solid retest. Now, I was told that, and it did, by the way, it stopped here, it did a little wick, and it went all the way up. Well, the next candle, I mean, this is a tiny little wick, that's not much at all. But the next candle, in the 5 minute, you can see it creeps up, and then it pushes all the way up for like 11 pips. And then the next 5 minute candle just dropped really hard, rejecting. But again, like Jay says, if all you know is breakout and retest, and you don't have a bigger comprehensive understanding of the market, which takes time to learn, then you may have problems on days like this day. If you looked at the stochastic, I don't have it here. I could move to the, let's see. If I don't want to move into it because I'm going to go into the projections here in a moment. But if you go to the stochastic, you will see the stochastic was overbought. All right. So it's already giving you a signal that it's likely to drop. Then you have the candlestick pattern that is talking about sales. All right. You also know that it's coming down. Then, by the way, when it hit all the way down here, the stochastic now is at the bottom, ready to go back up. And this is your buy signal, guys. As this rejected from the bottom. Again, on the 1 hour, I wish I would have saved the picture from the 1 hour. The picture from the 1 hour has none of this here. In fact, it has it coming down and closing above, coming down, closing above, coming down, closing above. And this right here is the buy to take to the upside. If you didn't take it here, you can certainly take it once it breaks the 50. And it came back, retested, and off it went for 62 pips. This was one, this was good for learning, a good learning lesson here on many things. What confirmations do you use? The stochastic was a good one for this one. The candlestick patterns also, which speak to you. The overall move of the market, which was bullish, will give you confidence in staying in on a buy unless it closed down here below. Now, if you got caught on a retest here, if you got caught on a retest here, you would have closed on any 15-minute candle that closed below. And in fact, I don't have it here because, again, it wasn't going to be part of the weekly recap, but I'm just doing this because somebody mentioned it. If you were to look at it, the 15-minute candle closed somewhere down in here. So you would have had a 6 to 10 pip loss on this action right here if you entered in for the retest. So that's why I put here retest fake out, because even though on the higher time frames, in fact, there is no reason to enter. If you were on the lower time frames, there was a little bit of a fake out. There were 3 5-minute candles that moved up, 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 and on the 15-minute candle, it could have looked like it was going up when in fact it was just rejecting the top to come to the bottom. Again, much cleaner on the higher time frames. I'll discuss it when I go to the projections. Let's go into the projections. Let's see. Here you go. Let's see. Where's GBP JPY? GBP JPY is right here. Let me go ahead and open that. This is the setup as I have it right now, guys, for this coming week. I'm not sure what is going to happen. Is this the previous setup? I'm not sure if this is the setup as I had it. I might have created this as I was doing a one-on-one earlier today. But these are the 1 hour candles that I was talking about. Nothing closed above, nothing closed below. And in fact, the structure is giving you a strong indication of a move to the upside. Now that it has broken to the upside, it has ran into this wall from before right here, okay? So it's not likely to continue its move up. The candlesticks are also talking about sales. The overall look of it could be from the higher time frames. a flag pattern, bearish flag pattern to break to the downside. So I'm anticipating perhaps it's going to break to the downside. And again, if it breaks to the downside, it's going to seek the next trend line. It's good from here. It's going to seek this other trend line. But again, I think perhaps for just to continue to the upside, there is a. Let me see if I have it here. I don't have it there. There is a. No, there isn't. Not on this one. I think I'm thinking about gold. There is a golden zone up here above. Anyway, it has run into resistance now, guys. I anticipate that we may be looking at a sell. Look at the stochastic also. This is the stochastic RSI. I'm using this one so that because most people can have this one, even if you don't have the Martin stochastic. It is way overbought. I'm talking almost 100%, 99.5. Okay, 100 is the max that it can go to. It's at 99.5. It's way overbought. We're very much likely potentially looking at sales right there on GBP, JPY. And this is the setup, by the way, is this the setup? No, that's not the setup. Ignore that. It's not the setup. I was working on something with somebody else here. That's why I got all that there. Okay, let's see. GBP, NZ, let's go to GBP, NZD. This is the overall picture, right? We've been waiting for this move to the upside so we can challenge the top channel, but it's been messing around down here. And as I mentioned in previous weeks, you want to wait until it actually closes above and breaks the 50 moving average. It closed above the 50 moving average last week, and all it did was reject this week. Okay, so it's not ready for buys. It's not ready for buys. And in fact, look at the stochastic, way atop, way atop. Okay, likely to come down to test the lows again. At least test this little minor zone here, if not coming all the way down to the trend line. Okay, still a lot of sell pressure going on GBP NCD. What else we got? GBP USD. This is the one that has a golden zone on top. Okay, yeah, this is the one that has a golden zone on top. This is the bigger view, right? This is the bigger view of GBP USD. You have the move to the downside, retracement, golden zone. It has broken above the 50, but it is at that zone of a little bit of a wall of resistance there. I think it's climbed it, but it has to come down to retest it if it's going to go back up. All right. I did put the trend line there just so that you can have a good understanding of the fact that this could still be coming down for a little bit. But overall, in the long scheme of things, this is shallow retracement. That is still, well, no, not shallow. It bounced off of the 50. It bounced off of the 50. Sorry, guys. It bounced over the 50. So we're looking at a potential move to the upside, but there's a golden zone there it's going to run into. And right now it is at resistance. I'm anticipating that the likelihood situation here is that it will see what it looks like. This is what it looks like on the 1 hour. I mean, if that's not an evening start that tells you sell, I don't know what else is. Right now we have the 2 to the left, 2 to the right coming here soon for a drop. If it comes to a drop, this is where it's going to test, which is the previous zone where it left from. This is where it'll test before it continues to go up, if it goes to continue up. Okay, and guys, to finally close it up, this is gold. Gold had been going up forever. This is the golden zone from the strong move to the upside. Flagged for a little bit, and now it broke to the top. It's run into a wall right here, and it's right at it right now. So from here, it could very well, okay, reject from there, come down here, something like so, before it starts making its move to the upside and perhaps break and continue up. All right, with the fundamentals as they are occurring right now, it wouldn't be surprising to find gold go back up to the 2000s. But again, it still has to break through this resistance that we have found at the moment. It did break the trend line, but again, let's see if it does a retest and go up, or just simply wicks out at the 50 and drops back down. This is all I got for now, guys. I hope you found this helpful. And if so, as I say, please like, comment, and subscribe. No. But I would appreciate your comments and anything else that you wanted to cover on the weekly recap that I'm not covered. Sorry for the speed of my voice. I'm trying to make this real short. Long day. I'm really tired, and I hope that you found this helpful. God bless you guys. Bye.